doing jazz because it allows me to express myself. I want to spread love and joy with my music. That's what my music's all about. It's jazz, but it's different. I'm into a new territory at the moment. I came in not even knowing what I'm going to record. I had no music at all with me. I just walked into the studio and here I am. We ended up doing a whole album.
I had seen a pop video of his. Somehow, somewhere when I saw him, I was like, he started saying, let's do a session, and I was like, okay, it's going to be a pop session or something like that. And he was kind of secretive about what we were going to actually be doing. Maybe not secretive, but he was just a beautiful cat and saying, they're going to have a great time, and I got here, didn't know what to expect, and I see Matthew Garrison and Sam Yahel and Jonathan Blake and Jeremy Pelt, and I'm like, what? And it turned out to be a really awesome session.
I love these situations where you're able to bring, 5-6 strangers together and, make music together. And we're all, coming in for the common goal, just really trying to bring together some beautiful music, and I think that's what took place today,
It just flowed so freely, very reminiscent of, a lot of bands from the 60s and 70s where the mentality was creating in the moment with musicians and feeding off other people's energies. And so all these people came in and I had no idea what to expect, and Glenn would just start playing, or Jonathan, the drummer, just started playing, and then he would evolve and then people would come in. And I think there were some melodies Glenn had written for the trumpet and saxophone player, but that was the only music that was written. The rest of it was improvised, and it was pretty magical to see what was happening and to be in the presence of that. It was a very unique experience.
It's a free type of playing, so everything is a little abstracted, but he wrote some tunes, he wrote some beautiful melodies that the horns played, and we went from there.
The recording process was easy. I mean, it just kind of harkens back to the old period where people just wrote songs in studio and then recorded them. So, I mean, you have a bunch of, in this case, extraordinary musicians with what they used to call big ears that are able to adjust to what's going on and react a certain type of way, and it makes it a lot easier so that you're not wondering what happens next. You're contributing to the future of what's happening at that point.
In terms of things getting stale, you don't have that same thing in this kind of environment. You don't know what to expect. It's much more raw, and it's not like playing ahead and then solos and then head out. There's much more of a conversation, and there's much more room for spontaneity and improvisation.
It was so organic, and it used a lot of jazz influence and groove influence and improvisational influence and just different sounds and different energies, and they work so well together.
I love the way the musicians played. Some great players, Jeremy Pelt on trumpet, Jonathan Blake on drums, and Matt Garrison on bass, and Sam on piano, and Bob on saxophone.
We got to really explore some very open forms, and it was something I haven't done in a really long time in a great studio like this, and just sit and just play.
Glenn is an amazing guitarist, musician, improviser, and I think his vibe and his spirit really comes through to the other musicians and the music that they're playing, and it kind of infiltrates you. When you meet Glenn, it's not just a normal person you meet. You meet Glenn and his energy just soaks in you, and you're just instantly feed off of it, and just great vibes, and you just want to do great things, help people. It's just infectious. And I think they came across, the musicians who were playing, they felt that, and they would feed off with this musical energy right back that he would feed to them, and it was kind of this leveling up of people contributing to each other's emotions and feelings and music, and they just kind of piled on, and it just kept spiraling in such a positive way.
Glenn is such a sweetheart, a good cat to very good person to have something like this work, you know, in terms of him putting it together.
With my music, I want to make a difference. I want to touch people's hearts. There's so much of fighting and killing and brutality and the wars. I just cannot deal with any of the wars that's going on. So through my music, I'm hoping that we'll have peace in this world. It's about raising awareness about all the issues we face in this world. Issues like global warming, hunger, poverty, and that's what my music is about. It's about raising awareness.
Even though this is Glenn's project, it's really interesting to see how it takes shape. So Glenn got all the musicians together. He put together the studio. He had a little notation involved, but then from there, it kind of took a life of its own. The same thing as if you take a seed for a plant, you plant it in the ground, and then from there, it's unpredictable. You can't predict what's going to happen. So Glenn kind of planted that seed and it just bloomed.
I mean, Glenn came in, no music, and he sits down and, you know, everyone else is getting coffee and Glenn's in here, you know, writing out his ideas. And those ideas turned into probably 2 albums worth of material, so pretty special.
Everyone had such good energy. The music that was being made was so amazing, and I was there, you know, feeding off my energy and capturing it. It was really kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience to be involved in this and to help capture that energy and show the world so that they can experience what I experienced in that room.
Will I continue doing this music? I don't know. I'm a transcending musician. I get very bored easily and I cannot conform to rules. If there are rules, I want to break it. I'm very instinctive in that matter. So my music's going into a completely new direction and I'm happy the way it's come out.